G'day guys, it's Ashton Cartwright here from PaidAuthor.com. Today we're going to be converting a Kindle ebook into the paperback version. The book we're going to do is this one here, Demon Lost, which is a paranormal romance. So we've already created the ebook version, we did that yesterday, and now we're going to create the paperback. So all we do is we go into our KDP dashboard, hit create paperback. Alrighty. Now once an ebook's already set up, when you create the paperback, it will actually pull a lot of the information from the ebook, so you don't have to enter it again. This is the new thing that Kindle is currently trialing, but it's certainly going to be the main way paperbacks are made through Amazon in the future. So you can see here it's pulled the title across, the series, book number 2 in the series, author information, the description, the copyright details are the same as the ebook. It's just pulled that information across. It's pulled all the keywords across. It doesn't pull across the categories, so we'll have to choose some categories now. So we're going to go romance. Looking for paranormal. There we go, paranormal, and we might actually put it in fantasy as well, unless there's a dedicated vampire-y, demon-y type one. Oh, that one's fine. Okay, so as the categories, we're going to leave these ones as they are. Here it's got Createspace books. Createspace is a subsidiary of Amazon, and it's how self-published authors used to do their paperbacks. If your book is currently listed on Createspace, you just tick that yes, it is on Createspace, and then it'll pull the information from Createspace and transpose that all in here, so it's even easier for you. It'll also take it off Createspace and start only selling it through Amazon. The theory is they're looking at phasing out Createspace as its own separate division and putting it all through KDP. Alright, so it's not on Createspace though, so we can ignore that. We can save and continue. Alrighty, now we're going to get a free ISBN. A lot of people prefer to purchase their own ISBNs, but I'm a firm believer in not spending money when you don't need to, and for our purposes, Amazon assigned ISBN is just as good. Okay, so that is fine. Let's see here. Good, so we've got the ISBN. Publication date we're going to leave as is. Don't need to change that at all. Okay, so these are the standard default styles for Amazon paperbacks. We're going to leave it all as it is except for this, the paperback cover finish. We're going to make it glossy instead of matte, just because we've made the first one glossy, so it's good to keep it consistent. First one is 6x9 as well, so we'll leave that size. Okay, we'll upload the manuscript now, which is here. Now this is exactly the same file as we used for the ebook. The only difference is at the end of the ebook we've got some links to the website and things like that. We've taken those out of the paperback because obviously you can't click on a link in the back of a paperback. Okay, so that's fine. Now we're going to use the cover creator. So we're going to use the ebook image to make our own image for this book. This is a new thing that Amazon's doing, and it's pretty cool. I quite like it so far. Alright, so we choose a design first. Okay, so the image for the cover we need, which is from, oh, not that one. Here we go. So we're going to find, let's see here. Most of these have, here we go, this might be the right one. Let me see if I can upload the image first. So we're going to upload an image from my computer, which is Demon Lost. So we'll get that up there and then we'll pick a style. Beautiful. Okay, that looks fantastic. So now we'll choose a layout. So you can see here, this in the bottom section here, that rectangle will be on every single layout because that's the barcode. The image on the right is, of course, the image you've just uploaded, the cover image. This small little square, which translates to this one here, is if you want to put in a photo of yourself as the author. I don't usually bother with that sort of thing, and this particular author, I don't believe we've even got a high resolution photo of her, so I'm going to see if I can find one that doesn't have one of those. There we go. So this is the perfect one for us. So it's just the description, barcode, front cover. So we'll select that one. Excellent. So now we have to input our description here, which I'll just pull up. So even though it's copying across the description information onto Amazon, you still have to decide if you want to have it exactly the same on the book, which is why you have to input it again. But I do want it the same, so I'm going to leave it just like that. I'll break it up just a little bit to add a little bit of white space if we can. There we go. Beautiful. Well, it looks pretty good so far. So we're going to hit save, and we'll go on to preview it and see how it's all going. Alright, we'll hit preview now. Now this is just the cover we're previewing. I'm a big fan of the new, oh look at that, perfect, that's just what we want, nothing too complicated. We've got the beautiful image on the cover and just a black background because it's a vampire novel. We're happy with those dark colors, but if you want different colors, you can select them in the style and edit section here. But for our purposes, that's great. It's filled in the details of the title and the author name. Everything at the back looks good, and we've got the lovely cover. All right, on to the next step. So we just hit save and submit there. All right, now we update the actual. So now we've got the manuscript all uploaded, the covers all uploaded. Now we have to digitally proof the entire thing. So we launch the previewer here in the book preview section, and now it'll combine the two because the size of the book itself will affect the size of the cover. What it's doing now is merging the two together effectively and making sure it's all going to work. Sometimes if your book is too big, for example, if the paperback version looks like it's going to be over 700 pages, it can cause some issues with this aspect of it that I've encountered before. I think we should be okay with this book. I suspect it'll come in at about 650 pages for paperbacks. It's about 130,000 words, which is well and truly on the larger side for a paranormal romance or for most novels. But we'll see what Amazon does here with their software here. They automatically generally find a way to make it all work properly. And this can take a couple of minutes. But even though it's probably a little dull to watch me watching the timer sort of tick down on this, it's still a much quicker process than it used to be before KDP had their own paperback software like this. It used to be you'd have to send away to get someone to custom design a cover that's the exact right number of pixels wide and things like this. This way, however, Amazon all does it internally, which means not only is there less chance there's going to be an error, but it's also very quick to adjust if you need to make changes in the future. Plenty of times I've had we've gone through and re-edited a book that's been out for a little while and added another few chapters or removed some chapters that perhaps weren't too relevant, and so we'd need to not only resubmit the book to Amazon, which is usually pretty quick, but we'd have to get a brand new custom cover designed that's a 50th of an inch less wide so that it fits properly. With this new system though, it's real simple if you want to make changes in the future. So I'm definitely a big fan. One of the other benefits of doing it through your paperback through KDP rather than through Createspace, and I was always very happy with Createspace, one of the new benefits is that your royalty payments don't come separately from Createspace and Amazon now. Now they all get combined, and the one KDP payment you get includes any paperback sales. This is particularly good if you perhaps don't sell a huge number of paperbacks. If you sell 1 or 2 in a month, through Createspace you usually have to wait until you hit a particular threshold. I think it used to be $100 or $150, and for a lot of us starting out that could take a year to get that much royalties from your paperback sales if most of your sales are digital. But now if you sell even a single paperback, that royalty gets added on to your KDP payment, and they pay it all together, which certainly helps. Even if particularly if your KDP payments are usually quite small as well, perhaps you might not be hitting the threshold through them, and now that you're getting the royalties from your paperback sales grouped in with them, it might help you hit that threshold a little bit quicker. Should be getting to the end of the formatting now. Oh, this could take a few more minutes. That's a bit ominous, but that usually is only another 60 seconds or so from here. I'll just talk about one of the other differences between Createspace and the KDP paperback version. A lot of authors are complaining about this aspect of it. Createspace, you can order books at cost if you're the author, so that you can check them out yourself and make sure they're all good, or you can use them for promotions or to give them away to reviewers, or to have signed copies available. Through KDP you can't actually order them at cost, so that is a slight handicap there. If you're particularly keen to get them as cheap as you can, when you do set the price, you can set it as low as possible, then order a few books yourself, and then put the price up a day or two later. That's the way to get around that. It's not as smooth a system, but for most of us it does the job, particularly if you're only going to order 1 or 2 books. It's fine. If you're a multinational author with 300,000 fans that are screaming for your next book, then perhaps you don't want to launch your paperback at a low price. You might want to launch it higher. But if you're in that boat, you're probably doing fine no matter what price you put it at, so you don't have to worry too much. Okay, here we go. So now it's generating the print preview, which I'm pretty sure is the last step. So we should be just about ready to have a look at it all. Now, as I mentioned, I haven't done anything to format this as a paperback. It's exactly the same as the Kindle book, just without the links to the website and whatnot. So we'll see how Amazon goes converting that base manuscript with no formatting for paperback whatsoever, no spacing on the sides, nothing like that. We'll see how it goes converting it to a paperback book that you'll hold in your hand. One of the challenges for those of us who have done the paperbacks and formatted them ourselves is you have to take into account the height of the book, the width of the book, and make sure all the spacing on each individual page, both at the top, at the bottom, and on each side, is going to work with a print of a certain number of pages. The more pages your book is, sometimes you need to add extra space on the left hand side of a page so that when they're all glued in there and people open the book, it's not cutting them off down the bottom. It's a very fiddly process, and I'm quite happy to see the end of it, to be honest, provided this all works smoothly, which we'll find out in a moment. For those of you who haven't used Createspace or KDP before, this entire process is completely free. It doesn't cost you a penny to put your book up online. So if you've written the book yourself, edited it yourself, designed the cover yourself, you can literally have the book for sale without having spent a single penny on anything. Personally, I usually get a professional cover designer because I'm about as artistic as a rock. So I don't do that stuff myself, and I publish other authors as well. So only some of the time is the book even my own. But if you're really trying to do it cheaply, you can do the whole process completely free. Okay, so this looks good. So now it's pulling up the print preview. Here we go. And we'll see how this is all converted. Okay, so it's saying that it's recommending a different size here. Alright, saying if you hit this button, it'll scale it to the size we selected, which is 6 by 9. Let's see how that goes. Okay, it's looking good. Now it's saying the caliber of the image on front isn't high enough DPI, which is dots per inch. So it's saying we should try and get a higher resolution. I've printed books with this particular resolution before though, and it comes out fine, so I'm going to leave that. Excellent. Here's the details. So check the spine text. It's fine. It's saying because we didn't input any specific fonts to use, they've used the default font, which is fine. Excellent. So I'm happy to approve that. We'll go on to the next step. Fantastic. So we scroll down the bottom. That's all done. So save and continue. And again, like I said, this is just the ebook file. We put it straight up there and it seems to be working thus far. Now here we are on the pricing. We've got the territories. We're going to select all territories because we have complete rights to this book. Sometimes if you're a publisher, for example, you might purchase the rights to sell the book in Germany or Spain and just that one country, in which case you'd select individual territories and tag all the countries you're licensed to sell the book in. But since we have exclusive rights for this publisher, we're just going to select all territories. Now because the book is quite large, it's saying the minimum price we can sell it for is $13.44. So we're just going to sell it for $13.99 because we're happy to sell as many paperbacks as we can, and we're not too worried about making a large markup on them. Okay, that's fine. Now you can select the other marketplaces yourself, or if you don't want to, it'll automatically calculate the price for the other territories like the UK and Canada and things like that. But that is all fine. Hit publish paperback. Done. So that'll, it says here it'll take up to 12 hours for English and 48 hours for other languages to be available for purchase on Amazon. So now all we have to do is wait 12 hours and then we can order our book and start letting our fans know that it's available for sale. I hope that walkthrough was of some use to you. My name's Ashton Cartwright from PaidAuthor.com, and thanks very much for watching.